Hey! Hi, it's Monday and it's snowing, which is really weird. Um, Here we are again, isolation, same room, haven't left yet. Dan. Okay, go to sleep. I know you've been working all night. Thank you for being a nurse and doing everything that you can do. And just watch later. And Miriam, hi, welcome, welcome. This is really exciting. We're all here together again. While I wait for everyone, water again. Actually, you know what's so crazy is that I've been drinking water, but I think that all of the computer time has really created almost like a stress in my body. And I don't mean like, oh, it's so stressful to be on the computer because I'm not stressed at all. I'm having a lot of fun. But it's interesting what our body considers stress. I think the computer waves, like TV, computer, all of that, makes my body think that it's stressed out. This happened, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, or maybe 2 years ago, when I was really getting into like online business stuff. I started to have like stress responses to the computer, and I was really dehydrated, kind of stumbly. It was really weird. So I'm sort of having it again, which is crazy. I know. So what I'm going to actually do is try and stay away from being on the computer as much as possible, except for obviously doing these videos. But it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Does that happen to you, Miriam, or anyone else? Like, you find that? Do you have that body awareness? I don't know. So what I'm going to do with that is stay off social media, like for, I'll still go on. Like, let's be honest here. I enjoy connecting, but I probably won't be on as frequently, as often, which is kind of crazy to have to say because I'm just in a bedroom. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to go outside today, even though it's snowing, drink more water because I'm finding also that, as I said, I'm dehydrated more. So I don't think that I'm breathing as much, drinking as much when I'm feeling that stress response. Because what happens is it increases your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight, so you breathe more shallow. So obviously you don't take nice deep breaths. I've been drinking more black tea than I probably would. So I'm feeling dehydrated. So I was also noticing it was harder for me to get out of bed and I would sleep longer. So this happened before when I wasn't drinking enough water. I would sleep like I'm sleeping like 8 hours and then I wake up and I'm like a zombie, which is crazy. What else did I write down? Yeah, and I was having crazy dreams yesterday. I had a nap and then I had like really weird dreams. And last night I had like a dream about someone I love died. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. So, again, going to do all those things, drinking some more water, trying to stay grounded, probably go out and hug some trees today, which kind of sounds crazy. I also have this sheet on my bed. I know I'm going to sound like a real crazy person, but you plug it in and then it into the polar part of the plug and it grounds you. It's called earthing. It's a thing. We all need it right now. It's okay. So anything that I can do to get the elements in me. So how to shower, drinking water, trying to stay away from computers as much as possible. Thank God that I don't have a computer job. Like that, oh, it would just destroy me right now. Like I'd probably have to call in sick for the rest of my life. Because no, I would just feel like a bag of crap all the time. Hi, Lindsay. That's fun. Join. Okay, so hydration, key. Keep talking about it. I will forever talk about it because it's huge. Again, getting one of the elements, water. I'm a Pisces, fishy. I like water. I like bathtubs. I like oceans, lakes, all that stuff. But I also like trees. So what we're gonna do today is first of all, I want us to release the front of the shoulders. I know we already did that video, but I want to do it again. It's very important. We're going to work the back of our body, or back of our upper body. So releasing everything in the front is going to allow us to engage the back a lot easier. I also went over the chin tuck, which is very important, especially when we do all of these exercises. We're not going to use any weight, but I still want you in proper posture, in proper form. So doing that chin tuck, so I kind of wore the perfect shirt actually. So you take your little finger and your thumb, and your little finger goes under the clavicle here, or the collarbone, and then the thumb goes in the same spot. So that landmarks you for where your finger is supposed to be, and that straight finger is where your chin should be. So you're probably going to notice super double chin, but that's okay because that actually puts your spine into a neutral alignment. And all of these exercises are going to do just that, put you into a neutral alignment so that you're actually engaging the muscle that you want to be engaging properly. The last thing you want to do is go into an exercise, into a gym, into your home gym, whatever, and start to engage muscles that you don't really want to be engaging, because that's how you have injuries. Extra muscles get really tight and irritated. So chin tuck, super important. See how that just moved my shoulders down? So I'll do it again. See how it indirectly just moved my shoulders down? Everything realigns. So opening that chest up. So if you have a ball, get your ball. Hi, John. Good morning to you. I'm glad to see you here. It's fun. Get your tennis ball, your trigger point ball, whatever you want to use. And we're going to do that rolling around the clavicle, down the shoulder, down around the pec major. So grab that. If you don't have one, that's okay. I would say just open up your chest a little bit. You don't want to stretch too statically, which is what this kind of stretching is, but anything to open up your shoulders. So do what you can do, and let's open up. So we're going to release the front of the shoulders and do that chin tuck. And then we're going to do the 3 exercises. Hi, Catherine. And they are, I had to double check. I had a little thought in my head. We're going to work the infraspinatus, which is on top of the scapula right here. We're going to work the lower traps. So you've got your upper traps, you've got middle traps, and then lower traps. I'll show you. Lower traps. So what happens sometimes is when everything comes forward, the upper traps get really tight, and then the lower traps either are never engaging or they're underdeveloped. So it depends on what happened in your childhood recently, if you've ever been able to engage your lower traps. I have an underdeveloped one on my left because of sleeping. When I was a kid, I used to sleep like this. And so my shoulder never relaxed. So I always had like clicking in my elbow, and my wrist was always off. And when I did those fitness shows, I could actually see that I didn't really have much of a lower trap. So that's been a huge one for me. And then we're going to do posterior deltoids, which is the back of the shoulder right here. So we're going to release everything in the front and then work the back. So again, we're going to release the pec major, the anterior delt, which is here. We'll do a subscap stretch. And then we're going to strengthen infraspinatus, lower traps, and posterior deltoids. So here we go. Grab your ball. I'm going to take my paper and my water. So grab your water too. All right, I hope you're playing some nice music. So take your ball. I'm going to use this one today. The tennis ball isn't really enough for me. And I'm just going to put it anywhere. Again, I usually start here because that's the tightest for me, which is pec minor underneath the pec major. And then you're going to go all the way around and then down into the anterior deltoid. So do that with me. If you find a spot that's tight or sore, just stop on that spot. I don't really move around much. I kind of just find little spots. I found one there, and then I hold on it. This is how I massage people as well. Just find a little spot, and then I would hold, do a little trigger point release. You feel any clicking in your neck? Oh, so good. So now I'm going to move over more towards my shoulder here. And you can even chin tuck with this if you want, because that'll help relax your spine. So your spine wants to be in neutral all the time, forever and always. Things that take it out of neutral is stress. So as I was talking about computers and hydration and all of that, that's a stressor. It's a stressor for your spine. So even if you're stressed emotionally with everything that's going on, for sure, mentally thinking too much about things that you can't control, driving would take the spine out of alignment. Obviously, you've heard of white knuckling. So that makes tight muscles, which pulls the vertebrae. Oh, that's a good one. So now I'm going to do anterior deltoid. If you want to keep rolling longer, that's cool. Do whatever you want today. You can always rewatch this. And I'm usually a pretty slow moving person when it comes to what to do for the body. Because I think that we're all too hard on ourselves. Sometimes it's just nice to just show some love to your body instead of going, oh, I hate you because I ate pizza. Well, whose choice was the pizza? Not your body. It was your mind. So I think we're just a little too hard on ourselves sometimes. So this is a time to really show some love. If you want to take it even further, you can do how I was showing you before, the lats and teres major. I'm just going to do a little bit on there because they rotate the shoulder in, and I want the shoulder to be out because everything that we're doing today will either help your arm be able to move up better or externally rotate. So as a society, we are just way too internally rotated. We're always down, we're looking at computers, we're texting, we're sleeping. Even when we're nervous sometimes, socially, the shoulders come up and forward because we're trying to protect ourselves. It's pretty wild, that mind-body connection. Okay, so I'm going to move over to this wall, and I'm going to do the same thing. So starting here, moving up and around clavicle, collarbone, and into shoulder, and then onto anterior deltoid. With the anterior deltoid, you want to be very gentle because there's a lot of bones there. Well, not a lot of bones. It's a bone, and it has a bunch of bumps. They're called bony prominences or tubercles, or there's another name. Tubercles? Tuberosities. That's it. That's a good one. Especially, this is really good to do after you get out of bed. You can either stretch or you can just roll. That I can even feel up into my neck. How about you? Okay, I'm going to do anterior deltoid. You might need to hold the ball on this one. Sometimes it flings out. I also wanted to point out that the more you release, hi Kyle, the more you release the front of your chest, the more you actually want and need to do more strengthening in the back. Don't be discouraged. Don't let it deter you from taking care of your body. But what happens is there's fascia. So we've talked about this before. It's like a mesh onesie that goes from your head to your toes, and it keeps everything nice and tight. And sometimes when we have a tight shoulder, let's say, things get really tight like this or like this. And instead of engaging a muscle underneath that tension, you're just engaging fascia. So instead of building muscle, you're building more tension, which can be okay if you need to run from a bear or your personal trainer is telling you to do something, which hopefully they know what they're talking about. But you need to release that fascia. Now you're kind of a little bit vulnerable. The fascia's released. And that means that you'll have to really start to engage the mind-body connection. You might actually feel weaker because instead of having that tension, you're now actively using the muscle. So it's something very important to think about. Just going to do a little bit here. You can see my ball. So what are you going to do today? Do you have to work? I don't. I'm really sad that I can't massage people. It really is disappointing. It's meditative for me. It's like, honestly, I say it all the time. It's one of my favorite things to do, which is so crazy. Never thought I would love my job. All right, so I'm pretty good, pretty warmed up. You can do a little bit more if you want to stretch your subscap, which is that muscle under here. Sorry, I'm a bit sweaty. Just had a hot shower. I'm in a little room. It's all good. Okay, you ready? Let's start with infraspinatus. Okay, so again, that's the muscle right here on top of the scapula. So what you want to do, chin tuck, you're going to engage your abs for all of these exercises too. So chin tuck, ab engagement, that's going to straighten the spine. You can kind of see how it's come forward a little bit for me instead of like this. You're going to kind of anchor your elbow onto the side of your body. Your wrist is going to be neutral. It's not going to be down. It's not going to be up. It's not going to be back. And it's not going to be forward. So you want it nice and neutral as much as possible. And you want your elbow to be 90 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a teeny tiny little movement. You can start with one. You can do both at the same time. I'm just going to use the one. And you're going to engage this muscle right here. I don't want you to use any weight. I just want you to get that mind-body connection. You're just going to rotate back just a little bit and come forward and back. I don't want you going all the way like this. See how my shoulder kind of came forward? I want your shoulder to forever and always stay back while we do this exercise. So it's just a very small movement. You don't want to be engaging the front of your shoulder. You actually don't necessarily want to be engaging the back of your shoulder either. And I mean this. You don't necessarily want to be engaging too much here, but you want to be engaging here. You can even put your hand here and really start to feel that engagement. Mind-body connection is massive right now. So just do a couple. Let me know in the comments, do you even feel it? Hi, Brian. We're doing infraspinatus exercises. It's a very small muscle, so it probably will gas out and feel tired quickly. So if you feel like you're starting to round your shoulder forward, hi, Joe. Welcome. Then just reset. So again, what I want you to do, you're going to anchor your elbow into your side. You don't want to push too much because see how that just sort of moved me? You just want to set it nicely. You want your elbow to be at 90 degrees. and you want your hand to be completely neutral. You don't want it back, forward, down, or up. You want it nice and neutral. At this angle, I'll do it from the side, you engage that infraspinatus right here and just do a tiny little movement. I don't want you going too far forward. I just want you at that very end range. Ooh, it's burning. Can you feel that? So this is going to be really good for keeping your shoulders back. And don't forget to tuck your abs and your chin. So I'm going to do the opposite arm because I'm starting to feel that already. You can do 3 sets of 10 to 12 if you want. You can do as many as you want. If you're starting to feel tired and it's starting to cramp up or anything, you can use your ball and put it on that spot and then relax. So again, you're going to kind of anchor your elbow into your side, and your elbow is going to be 90 degrees. You don't want your hand forward, back, up or down. You want it super neutral. And then just engage that infraspinatus. So again, that very end range. You can use a mirror. You can even see, okay, am I engaging here? You can put your hand there just to feel, get that mind-body connection even more. And just do a very small movement. Again, end range motion. Don't forget to tuck your chin, engage your lower abs. That'll keep your spine neutral. Sometimes I see guys at the gym like trying to do this with lots of weight, but they forget that their shoulder is forward. So they're actually engaging the anterior deltoid and into the chest more than actually just engaging the infraspinatus. And that's fine. Maybe they have different reasons for doing that. But if you really want to engage that infraspinatus, don't use any weight right now. You just want that mind-body connection. So again, you can reset if you want. If you feel like you're starting to engage the front of the shoulder, then just reset again, anchor a little bit, 90-degree angle, neutral hand, and then just do that end range. Right there. I was a little bit high. Do you see that? So you want to make sure it's nice and 90 degrees because that'll engage that infraspinatus the best. Ooh, that's good. This one I do at the gym. People probably look at me like, why did she just go home and do this? Yeah, do whatever I want. How's that one feeling? Feeling okay. Not so much talking today. Maybe you're tired from exercising. Grab a drink. We're in Paris. Again. Okay, so infraspinatus. Infraspinatus. And now we're going to do lower traps. So lower traps are right there. Middle traps are right in between the scapula or the chicken wings. And then upper traps are here. So upper traps lift the shoulders up. Middle traps bring the shoulders back. And lower traps bring the arm up. Like this. Yes, this is for rotator cuff. Perfect. Thanks, Joe. Should I feel it down the back of my arm? Yep, you can, especially if there's some tightness and tension in your fascia, then that can create tightness and tension all the way down the arm, especially with your frozen shoulder, Miriam. Just just going to get rid of this. Okay. Yeah, so rotator cuff, this is perfect. Joe, we relax the front of the chest, and now we're working on the back. So that's going to help to keep your shoulders externally rotated. So infraspinatus, I'm going to come down here. So what you want to do is you want to chin tuck, and you want to engage your lower abs, and then you try to get that mind-body connection way down here, and then you're going to raise your arm up. It's actually harder, way harder than it looks. So if you can't do it, that's okay. Just try and make sure that your shoulder is down. You can even put your hand here, push on your upper traps, and that'll disengage the upper traps so that you can actually lift your arm as opposed to this. You don't want to do that because that engages the upper traps, and then it creates tightness in the neck and everything. So again, I'm just pushing here on that upper trap, and I'm pulling my shoulder down as I raise my arm. When I come down, I totally disengage everything. So you don't need to engage your arm or your shoulder or anything as you come down. More water. Does this make sense? This one's a little bit tricky for the mind to get, especially considering so many people have never engaged that lower trap muscle, or they have, just not really noticed it. So this one's really good for reaching for things. Like let's say you're getting something out of your cupboard, you can reach like that as opposed to like that. See how I brought my shoulder up before I went to grab something? Whereas if I'm engaging my lower trap, then I can move my arm without having to move my shoulder necessarily. So if I'm reaching, I can actually grab the thing as opposed to reaching and almost like moving my entire body. So you don't want to do this. So again, you can push down. I'll show you from the side. Bringing my shoulder back and down. And then bringing my arm up. It's really hard. It's okay. I totally get it. If you're like, oh, what am I doing? This is so crazy. It's such a small little portion of the muscle too, but it's so important, like super, super important. I'll do it from back here, so maybe you can see. The way you don't want to do it is like this. I don't know if you can tell the difference. Where's this one? You'll want to come up on a bit of a curve too. You don't necessarily just want to come up like that because that actually engages more the upper trap. But you can come to the side like you're doing a V. So you can do both at the same time. I wouldn't recommend it because it gets a little confusing, especially if you're really just trying to do the mind-body connection. You might feel some tension and tightness down your arm as well, especially if you have any shoulder issues. I know Miriam, we've been talking about that. So again, might be easier to really just push on the upper trap because it disengages it. And that helps you to really get that connection from below. If you're feeling any tightness or tension in here, that's okay. That's the lats. If you want, you just take your ball, roll that out, and then start again, because sometimes tight fascia can really impede a good mind-body connection workout. So again, do the chin tuck thing. Bring your shoulder back and down, and then lift your arm without raising your shoulder. And come down. You don't want to engage anything. Try not to engage your anterior deltoid, which is this one, if you can. So you're up, and then just come down. You can even just totally relax your arm. Joe, I've had a bad rotator cuff, and when I do this arm over my exercise, feel it on the front of the cuff. Is that normal? So do you mean here? You feel it here? That's normal, if that's where you're feeling it, anterior deltoid. Because everything's been forward and up for so long, it's engaging here because it doesn't actually know how to release here and engage the lower trap. So what I would recommend for you, do some stretches like this on a consistent basis, and or use the ball and roll the front of that chest and shoulder out as well, because that'll help to relax the front so that you can engage the back. So this one will be probably really hard for you. Yeah, Miriam says it's so hard to not move the shoulder. It really is. It's just because we've been doing it that way for so long, but that's okay. It's just a consistency thing. So if you do have shoulder stuff going on, really paying attention to and treating this like it's your job right now. I said that to my dad when he had knee surgery. I'm like, this is your job. You need to pretend like you're at work, and your knee rehabilitation is your job. So if you have tightness, frozen shoulder, thoracic outlet syndrome, anything, this is something you'll want to make a priority. Because just think, like, what's going to happen if you don't make it a priority in 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now? This can improve. It's just, you just have to do the stuff. And this is exactly what I'm showing you. Relaxing the front, doing that infraspinatus, as I was showing. That's going to engage and help externally rotate. Lower traps is going to help bring your shoulder down even further. And then the posterior deltoid, which to me isn't as important as those two that we just did, but it's still important. It helps to rotate the shoulders back as well. So posterior deltoid is here. You have this nice cap on your shoulder. So you have your anterior deltoid, medial, and then posterior. So you've seen people with like really nice shoulders. They have to engage anterior, medial, or middle, and posterior to have that nice cap. And if you've had any shoulder issues in the past, which is what we're talking about, that posterior deltoid may not be developed very well. So what you can do with that one is, I at the gym do face pulls. So that's when you have a rope and you pull back like this. So instead of actually using the rope, we're just going to do that motion. So you don't want to engage the front. I keep saying it. Let me move back so you can see. So your arms are up. You're relaxed. All of this is relaxed. And you're just going to pull from the back and pull your hands into your face. I'll do it from the side. And you really engage that posterior deltoid in the shoulder. You'll also engage a bit of rhomboids and middle traps, which are also really good because you want to keep the shoulders back and externally rotated as well. So I'll do that again. So it's pretend like you're pulling something into your face. This one, you want to do that chin tuck as well. I'll do it from the back so you can see. You might feel some or hear some like popping or clicking. That's just, if you have any scar tissue around the scapula, that's just the scapula moving. Or your joints are moving a little bit, which is okay. So again, pretend like you're pulling something into your face, but you're pulling from the back. You're not pulling like forward here. You're pulling with the back. So I do both hands at the same time. You can try and go, try and go just to the side. You can go up a little bit further, see how it feels. But you might even feel a pull here. You probably will, especially if you're doing the chin tuck. Ah, Frezin. Allie's back. It's so nice to see your face every morning. Thanks for being amazing. Ah, you're amazing. We're just doing face pulls. So you don't need any weight. I wouldn't recommend it because, like I was saying, the posterior deltoid is so teeny tiny that too much weight would just gas it out. Like, you want to have that mind-body connection. So how's everyone doing with these? Do you have any questions? You can even see, like, my right arm, it has a little bit less rotation than my left, and that's why my arm is a little bit higher. So I can't totally pull my shoulder back as much as I would like, because that strains that anterior deltoid for me. So just pay attention to what you're doing and try your best. It's just is what it is. Do what's right for you and what's right for your body. Okay, so you can watch this again. I would highly recommend it. This is something that you'll want to do every day. Like, it's up to you what feels right for you. If you want to do just upper body workouts for a week, then that's great. Hi, Kim and Shane. Thanks for tuning in again. Just if you want to do just upper body for a week and just do that rolling and all three of these exercises, then that's perfect. If you want to incorporate some rolling with your legs, that's great too. Let me know if you want me to kind of like structure it a little bit more for you. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for spending some time with me on Monday. I know it's kind of a weird day with the snow and that was spring, but anyway, get outside if you can. Drink your water. Very important. I'm going to be drinking all day long. And try those exercises. So roll the front of your chest, your pec major, pec minor, anterior deltoid, and then into the lats, teres major, teres minor. You can do your subscap stretch that we did on the first day. So if you want to go back to any of these, they're also on YouTube. Message me if you need them. You're welcome, Joe. You're welcome, Miriam. And then do the 3 exercises. So infraspinatus, like this. Lower traps, like that. And then posterior deltoid face pulls. Remember to tuck your abs and tuck your chin. So thanks again. So great to see you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. I think we'll do some lower body stuff. So I'll see you soon. Bye.